get that back to you. And then hopefully we won't have those same issues that we had last time, which the GoToMeeting was running relatively slow. But we should be good to go.
Okay.
So the first thing, obviously, we want to do, which we always do, is to review kind of where we're at, see how you did over the past week, answer any and all questions, and then we can kind of jump into the agenda. On the agenda for today, I wanted to cover content marketing and how to build an editorial pipeline and how to do some posting and some of the best practices associated with that. And then also get into tagging and emailing connections. And then the last piece is pulling connections out and cross-pollinating them and also importing connections in. So unless there's any agenda items that you want to add, it's kind of what we're in for.
Nope, I think I'm good.
All right. Well, let's start off with review and any burning questions that you have.
I think that I'm pretty good with that. I didn't get everything done. I sent out another round of invitations to my list, my group that I started, but I haven't gotten as many responses back this time as I did the first time.
I see. Was it the same people or different people?
Different people.
Mm-hmm.
And then you know what I would like to do is there, how when you create an automatic response when you send out invitations to people to connect, can you send out a personalized message that has that group in the list? I'm not explaining that well. That has a link to my group in the invitation.
No, because one of the key things about an invitation is you are not allowed to put a link, meaning like a URL, a link. You're not even allowed to put a phone number.
Oh, okay.
So if you're reaching out to connect with somebody, they don't even allow you to put a link or a phone number, and they essentially want it to be somewhat of a canned message as well. So definitely some restrictions there.
Okay.
But one of the best ways to promote your group is just right here within your status update, which then goes to all the people, all of your connections.
Okay.
Have you done that?
No.
So that'd be one piece that we'll talk about, which is setting up an editorial calendar, whereas you'll have a series of message that will go out to your community, allowing people to to brand yourself basically as the authority.
Okay.
So some review and some follow-up. How did you do installing Reportive or installing Outlook plugin?
I didn't. I got caught up in this. Health thing, and the week really got away from me.
Mm-hmm. No worries. I was just wanting to see if you had any questions on that. But the Outlook plugin is right here. You download the piece of software, because you do use Outlook, right?
I do, and I didn't see where you went to get it.
So I can provide you with this URL, but it's just linkedin.com/Outlook.
Okay.
And if you want, we can do it now. But actually, it's pretty self-explanatory. We don't need to do it now.
All right.
But if you have any problems with it, just give me a call and I'll walk you through it.
Okay. All right, that works.
But I strongly encourage that because I think that is pretty neat, and it's just a real easy way for you to get more connections quickly, just by never even having to leave your email, which is really cool.
Okay. Perfect.
Let's see. So that's one question I had for you. I also wanted to follow up on the group to see if you have any questions on that or any additional configurations.
No, not really. I guess I just need to start posting. I think I've had one person who actually had something to say when they joined the list, and I think I only have a few members of that list so far.
Mm-hmm. And so you can see, let's see, as I go over to your groups, is this one yours right here?
Yeah.
Yep. And then you can click on members to see, so you have 6 members. So that will certainly grow over time. And one of the things I mentioned is to share the group, and to share the group, you can simply share it by this clicking on this button, and then if you click on it, obviously they want you to send it over to Twitter and over to all these different platforms, but here you can easily share it to all of the people within all of your connections, and you understand where this goes, right? You can just simply share it, and then it would go out as part of your news feed.
Oh, okay.
Do you want me to explain that?
So if I did this, then I would be sending this out to other reverse mortgage loan officers, because those people are also in my group.
Yes, or it would be sent to your 366 connections, not to their email address, but to their news feed. So right when you log in LinkedIn, you see this, share and update, and this is something that you want to update at least every couple days, a couple times a week, or at least every day. And then as you go down this is when people log into their account, here's where your information would show up. You can see that I am showing up here because I connected to Graham Gill about 14 minutes ago. Have you been sharing any information via this here?
No, I haven't.
So that's one of the things that we'll talk about, and that will be your content marketing strategy related to LinkedIn. We'll also go through some tools where you can have it done all automatically for you, which is pretty neat. One other thing in review is, as you're doing all of these activities on LinkedIn, gaining connections, you obviously want to give back to the platform in terms of what we talked about before, which is interacting on groups, answering questions, and sending emails within the LinkedIn system. And then one thing that I wanted to show you is, have you ever clicked on this, which is you get to see people who have viewed your profile?
Yeah, I have.
So that's kind of neat. So as you're doing all this activity, LinkedIn will show you who's been viewing your profile. Now, you may know some of these people, so they might be looking at your profile to see what you've been up to. Some of these people you may not even be connected to. So here you can see some people that are outside of your network, and then others, might be, you might have sent an invitation to them, and they might have clicked on your profile to see if they want to accept it. So this is really a good place to go to potentially do some follow-up, whereas you know that Tom, who is in a group with you together, has viewed your profile. Now you can see exactly where he's from, and if you want to connect with him, you can simply click on the connect button, and because you're in a shared group. Also, if you see somebody who fits your ideal target market and they viewed your profile, what's kind of cool is you can always just click on and send them a message just saying, hey, I know that you viewed my profile the other day. Let me know if you want to get together for a cup of coffee, or give me a call if you have any interest in learning more about reverse mortgage.
Yeah, that's what I did with Maria.
You did do this with her?
Yes.
Excellent. And do you know her?
No.
you just saw that she viewed your profile, and you're like, hey, Maria, let me know if you have any questions.
Yep.
Colette, you are always one step ahead. Soon you're going to be conducting these LinkedIn trainings. But I think that's really, really powerful because, one, people either have too much time on their hands, or two, they actually found you in search and they viewed your profile, so there's no reason why you shouldn't follow up with them.
Right.
Nice. So unless you have any other questions, we can go back to our agenda here. Do you have any follow-up questions?
No, let's continue.
All right. So let's just tackle bullet point number 1, which is profile optimization and building connections, because those are the two key functions that you want to be good at via LinkedIn. And so I always do recommend, taking a look at your profile. A lot of times LinkedIn will, well, first off, new profiles are coming, so keep an eye out for that. The other thing is LinkedIn will always, sometimes, not always, but sometimes give you recommendations like, have you published a paper at all? Or, this click on add sections. And I do recommend, using this as essentially your online profile, just like your website. You want to be able to update it every now and again. Mm-hmm. And here you can see that it's not even working.
It was working, though, because I had just been, trying to see how everything worked on here, and so I click on things to see where they go sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, so I do recommend, consistently publishing information here. Mm-hmm. You can add widgets and add applications to, wow, you joined a lot of groups. Add your personal information in here. I wouldn't, you don't have to add your birthday, but, having your phone number, people are going, especially if they're connected to you, they want your phone number. A lot of people, if they're looking for your phone number, your LinkedIn profile comes up number 1.
Okay.
On Google. So if anybody is in the process of doing a deal with you and they forgot their address book at home, if people actually carry an address book, they're going to just Google your name for your phone number, so therefore you want to make sure that that is handy.
Well,
you've had your blog.
Now, I know I did have that information in there, so where did that go?
I'm not sure. You always have to remember to save it afterwards.
Well, no, I mean, it was in my profile, and it was visible on my profile. You didn't have to edit the contact info. Maybe it's personal information is different than business information. Do you want me to put your phone number in here? Sure, why not? 310? 405-1703. And that's a cell phone. So we'll just call them mobile. Yeah. I don't think you need your address or any of this other information. That's really nobody's business. So we did put your phone number in there, and that phone number will only be seen by people who you are connected to. And the whole idea is it's similar to like your resume. Can you imagine sending a resume to a company and not including your phone number? One additional thing is I like to put your details, if you're an open networker, just as you have done here, put your address in here. Mm-hmm. I also like to put a call to action in the summary here. Actually, you have put it in here. So here people can reach out to you. So this is good. You actually have your phone number in here saying call me or drop me an email. So that's excellent. I did that right after we had our last session. Yep. Perfect. And then you have your website in here. You're allowed to put 3 links, which I believe you have your website, you have your blog, and then do you have a Twitter account? I do. Do you ever use it? Infrequently, because I always forget what my username and password is. I think it's just Colette A. Gray. Let's see. Yeah, it is. Now, one of the things I like about the LinkedIn and Twitter integration is that if you're doing all of this networking on LinkedIn, mm-hmm. then it is easy to port it all over to Twitter automatically.
So even if you never do anything on Twitter, if you're doing this on LinkedIn, then it'll automatically port over. So when you do an update into your LinkedIn page, it will then go over to Twitter. So you're automatically populating Twitter.
Okay.
So do you want to add your account in here?
Yeah, let's do that.
All right, so let's see. Let's go over to Twitter. Do you know your username and password for Twitter?
I do.
Username?
Colette A. Gray.
And then do you know the password?
Yeah.
What's cool, if you just do a search, you can see that here's your Twitter profile. And you got 20 tweets. So what's your password?
It's all lowercase. M is in Michael, A-R-G-O, 1 I-E-S.
All right, let's see if that works. And we're in. Nice. So here's your Twitter. So now what we're going to do is, here's the URL, or what they call that, your handle, you know, your @Colette A. Gray.
Okay.
So we're going to go back and we're going to add your Twitter account. So now what it's going to do here is, you can see that we're logged into your Twitter account. It's going to do a little handshake, which is basically authorizing LinkedIn to have access to your Twitter account and vice versa.
Okay.
So share your tweets in your LinkedIn status. So I'm going to have it set that you'd have to click on #LinkedIn to do that. So it's not going to, so your Twitter tweets are not going to be posted to LinkedIn. We want it to work the other way. When you post to LinkedIn, it goes to Twitter.
Okay.
Which is very cool.
So now if I'm using something like Hootsuite and I post to Hootsuite, do I just post to LinkedIn now instead?
If you want, we can go over Hootsuite.
Okay,
And
yeah.
how that works. Why? So it says successful. So maybe it's working now. Let's just try one thing to see if it's working. Share group, share on Twitter. Yeah, so I think it is integrated now. And so when you post an update, all you have to do is click on this application will be able to, for some reason it's not authenticating. Everyone, all tweets, save. Yes, so maybe it's working now. So when you do post a message here, you always want to click that box, so then it will then share over to your Twitter profile. And we'll talk about that when we get to Hootsuite as well.
Okay.
So let me just go back to your profile, and I was going to make one more edit. You're allowed to customize the URL for your LinkedIn, which I think you have already done. But let's just look at it one more time. All right, so you can customize your public profile URL. So do you want to customize it? So then therefore the LinkedIn, you know, you could have it your name, or right now it's rather long. It's, you know, Colette Gray reverse mortgage specialist.
How about if I put on there the reverse mortgage guide?
The reverse mortgage guide.
Right.
It's giving us the check, so let's see if that works. Perfect. It works.
Where is it?
It's right here. So now you can cut and paste this.
Okay.
And you can add this to your email signature. So for instance, here is the URL. They make it all lowercase, so it doesn't read really well, but you can always change that. It's not permanent. Somebody clicks on that, and then they go to your public profile. And then they can connect with you here. So it just makes it easier to promote your page. So part of this exercise, and when we talk about optimizing your profile, it's just every so often, maybe once a week, you want to go in and potentially optimize your profile in terms of adding information here, adding adding additional websites that you might have, updating your groups, moving things around, checking to see if you have any, recommendations or anything like that. So it's always important just to make sure you're keeping this up to date.
Okay.
Like a living resume. And then a lot of times people get notified that you've added new things or that you've updated your profile. So again, you're trying to stay top of mind. Any questions around all the different ways to build connections? I don't really want to dwell too much on that.
Yeah. I think that we've talked a lot about that, and it's probably more something I just need to do. That was the reason that I was looking for the recordings that you had done, so I could go back and use that as a model.
Yep, and you can always pause that because I go through the mind map, which has all the 5 different ways of building connections. Simply just adding your AOL account here, which I know that you've done. You can do that every so often. And I think the most important thing is to get Outlook installed, and that way you are just consistently seeing LinkedIn right inside your email, which is a pretty solid reminder.
Yeah.
And it's an easy way to connect. You get an email from somebody, you just click on connect, and then you're automatically connected.
Yeah.
So moving on from there, we talked a lot about profile optimization, building connections. Those are the core features. The next thing I want to talk about is content marketing. And rather than going to LinkedIn, we do recommend your LinkedIn networking. Treat it like a project. Like, for instance, I always do mine 10 o'clock on a Friday morning, and I'll spend an hour working on LinkedIn, building connections, doing advanced search, finding people that I want to connect with, updating profiles, all that sort of stuff. So the same thing related to your content is you want to treat it like a project. And what I suggest is getting a bunch of evergreen posts that you can come up with that can be shared over and over. And that way you can schedule them either using Hootsuite or even using Twitter. You can schedule them. Right now, LinkedIn, just based upon this platform, it doesn't allow you to schedule anything. So that's why I recommend using another tool. Have you given much thought to the content piece that you're?
Well, I went on to that, what was it, the Google RSS feeds?
Yes, Google Reader.
But I signed up for that, and I haven't had time to really look at it for information to post.
Yep. That would be a great way to get some of that information. So, for instance, I have my Google Reader here, and if I want to find information related to my competition, here I can see all of the updates from all of my competition, which is good. They're probably sharing pretty good links. But what I recommend is setting up like a spreadsheet, and with your status updates, a lot of times you can attach a link. So. Or if you just attach a link in the status update, it will also publish that here. So if you want to see an example of one, we could go over to your Twitter page. So it looks like you're already using Hootsuite.
Yeah.
So therefore, this was probably scheduled via Hootsuite, but you can see if this was either going out via Hootsuite or if you're going to do this on your own, once a day you want to find something interesting on the internet related to reverse mortgage and share that with your community. And okay. I'm not going to post this at all, but you can see as you plug in the URL, it automatically pulls in the picture and the title and everything for you, which is really, really neat, and then you can click on share.
Okay.
So within an hour's time frame, you could probably come up with 15 to 20 messages related to reverse mortgage, and then schedule those out via Hootsuite, so then therefore your LinkedIn is pretty much on autopilot. Are you familiar with how to do that?
Vaguely familiar.
Mm-hmm. Do you want to walk through a quick demo?
Sure.
All right. So you have a Hootsuite account set up, correct?
I do.
Do you know the username and password?
Yep, I do. I think it's the same one that I just gave you. I'll give it to you again.
Friends, I can't get off of this screen here. This happened to me earlier today.
Your payment was canceled.
Yes.
Interesting.
And now we use Hootsuite for a lot of different accounts. For some reason, I can't get off of this screen, but what I'll do is I'll just go over to another browser. And then I'm going to log in, which is it Colette A. Gray?
You know what? Now I'm not sure which email they have. I think it's cgray@coletteagray.com.
And the password?
All lowercase, MARGO1IES.
Let's see if that is the magic. No, it's not.
Not. I must have changed it. Darn it.
Mm-hmm. No problem. I can give you a quick walkthrough on this. Hootsuite is pretty easy if they'll let me in here. And again, I just can't get past this screen for any of my accounts.
I hate when that happens.
Yeah, so obviously they want to take my credit card, and I'm going to give it to them. It's just I'm not ready for it yet. I'll go on to my third browser here.
What's TweetAdder?
TweetAdder is a tool which automates almost every single aspect of Twitter. So when you're in your TweetAdder account, you can load up as many accounts as you want. And when you're in your account, if you want to follow, say, everybody in Manhattan Beach, you can do searches within TweetAdder. So you can say, Manhattan Beach, do a search, and then it will pull up all the people related to Manhattan Beach, and then it automatically follows them, automatically unfollows them, and then you can load up as many tweets as you want and schedule them to go out throughout the day. So here you can see I'm going out every 65 to 75 minutes with a maximum of 17 per day, posted in random order. So whatever you...
Similar to Hootsuite?
Very similar to Hootsuite, but only with Twitter.
It works on Twitter.
Yes.
Okay.
So now I'm over to Mozilla. Which Mozilla is not opening now either. But anyway, Hootsuite, once your accounts are connected, when you log in on the upper left-hand corner, isn't that weird? It's just not showing up.
Yeah.
On my computer. And it looks like it's open. That is just strange. I don't know where it's going or why it's doing that.
My computer's acting kind of weird too ever since Hurricane Sandy.
Yeah. But the point is,
I don't have the scope to know if it's really connected to Sandy or if it's just random.
It's probably not connected to Sandy. How would it be connected to Sandy? I'm just curious.
I have no idea. I really don't know a lot about computers. I kind of learn what I need to know as I go along.
Yes.
Sometimes I'm right, sometimes not so much.
I'm just happy mine turns on every morning.
Yeah.
That's about as much as I know. But it doesn't look like I can get into Hootsuite right now unless I give them my credit card and sign my life away with them.
All right.
But the idea is to come up with 20 very much related good articles related to reverse mortgage. And to find those articles, you can go to you can go to Google News, you can go to YouTube, you can go and do some searches on Twitter. You can find blogs, you can use Google Reader, but the whole point is to establish yourself as the authority of that particular subject, and then use a tool like Hootsuite to make a post every single day. So share one of those articles, write the headline for it, kind of in your own words, in a summary, and then post it out to your LinkedIn profile. One of the reasons why I like Hootsuite is because it tracks how many people interact with that piece of content. So they'll be able to tell you how many people click through to actually read the article, how many people comment on it, if anybody forwards it on, or if anybody shares it, or anybody likes it. So I am a big fan of Hootsuite to do all of that and to track and measure that.
And that's part of Hootsuite's free program, or you have to pay them?
No, it's 100% free.
Okay.
You don't have to pay them at all. The reason why I pay them is because I have many, many accounts. I have multiple Twitter accounts, multiple Facebook accounts. So that's why I'm on a paid version. Plus, I like the additional reporting that you get.
Okay.
But the whole reason on why you want to share that is because now you're, one, being social on the platform. Two, people are going to see it, and then three, you're going to appear in the stream here. And then what LinkedIn also does is they usually, depending upon people's email settings, they'll provide a summary of the most active people within your network via email. So out of these 366 people, if you're getting in their email address or getting in their email account as being active, then that's also going to get you a lot more followers and more people interacting with you, and just stay top of mind to your connections.
Okay.
So very important. Plus, it looks a little strange if you're building all these connections, but yet not really interacting and not really sharing too much with them.
Yeah.
So, any questions on that?
Nope.
And if you need any help setting Hootsuite up, let me know. Hootsuite will also publish to your, your Twitter page and your Facebook page. So that's also a lot.
I have it set up to post to Twitter and to my personal page and to my business app.
Very good. Excellent. And I'd probably add one more, your Google Plus page.
Oh, good idea.
That would help you from a search engine optimization standpoint. because Google is really trying to get all those social signals. And especially as you get your new website in line, you get your new blog in line, now you have a good strategy. Whereas when you do write an article or when you do get published, you know, all that audience is being built, and then you can easily share that and get a lot of traffic, a lot of interest.
Okay.
So that's related to the content, and rather than having to think about it, you know, make sure you schedule it out in advance, like a month out in advance, and then it can be reused if it is good based upon, you know, how many interactions you're getting on it.
Okay.
So the next piece is tagging and emailing, which I believe you're already pretty familiar with this. This gets into managing your contacts, which you already have, you know, you already know how to do the tagging, and then you know how to email from here, correct?
Yes.
And you're only allowed to email, I'm not sure how many times per week, but I think it's like, you know, maybe like once a day you're allowed to send an email, and it's only up to 50 people. So you want to break these partners out into groups of 50. So you could have, you know, real estate agents, and then if you have something related to, you know, that speaks, you know, it's a reverse mortgage article, but, you know, it was written by, you know, a real estate blogger, then you would send that article. And I recommend going, you know, staying very, very short and sweet, saying, you know, so it's a very quick one, and you could say that, just say if these were your real estate agents, you could click on all of them, and, well, I think you're only allowed 50, so I just have to delete a couple of them here. But I'll show you an example of how you could do this. You just simply pull this up. And one of the things I like about Hootsuite is if you're sharing an article every single day that is a good article, at the end of the week you could look at the 5 articles that you sent out and see which one has the highest click-through. That means that that article is the one that is most popular. So say if it is specific to a group, you could say, you know, put it in the subject line, articles, just say, hey, I was thinking about you this week, and here's an article that is, you know, whatever the title of the article is or whatever the article is, and then just put the URL in there, and then follow that up by your email signature. And now you just reach 50 people with a good article, and it's not like you're promoting yourself either.
Now, when you say email signature, is that something that I design?
Yes, let me show you what your email signature is. This is your email signature right here.
Oh, okay.
So you would simply go like this. You would say, hey, I hope you had a great week. And again, you want to keep it really, really short. Hope you had a great week. I found this article. I thought you might be interested in it. So I hope you had a great week. I found this article. I thought you might be interested in it. And then just put the article, and then just click on send.
Okay, so that's why I want to download that LinkedIn Outlook utility.
Yeah, well, this email is like this email signature is probably already in Outlook.
It is.
Yeah, so it probably is just attached to every single new email that you send. Correct?
Oh.
You don't type this out every time.
No, no, no. I have it in. Outlook.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So this is a very handy little tool to send out, and I don't recommend, you know, using this for email marketing. You know, that would be more of a formalized letter, but just quick little communications that you could send out. Unfortunately, it's only up to 50 people, but what happens when you start doing this, especially on a regular basis, you generally can go over to this area here, and rather than 7 people viewing your profile, that number jumps up to like 30 and 40, and you can see the graph over time. Because you're sending that out, people are looking at your profile, or they're going to start to click through your profile, because when it's delivered, it shows, all of your information and your LinkedIn profile. So it's pretty neat. And then, if consistently, if you see Maria checking you out every week, then obviously you want to reach out to her. She's either really bored or she's interested in the communications that you have.
Right.
And that's why I think tagging people and then emailing them, not too much. I would say even once a week might even be a little bit aggressive, but maybe every other week, depending upon, how active you can be.
Yeah.
The next thing is pulling connections out, which is exporting your contacts. And you're familiar with this, correct?
Sort of, yes. We kind of looked at this last week.
Yeah, so one neat thing here is you have 366. And the way that I like to look at it is let's use LinkedIn Advanced Search to really, really find and connect with your target market. After we do that, after you build up 1,000 connections, what I like to do is cross-pollinate those connections. So within the click of a mouse, you can export all of your connections, and you could then add those to, say, your Twitter profile to see how many of these people are also on Twitter.
Oh.
You could also do that with Facebook. You could also do that with Google, Google Plus, which is all of these platforms. When you sign up, they want you to tell them, who it, or they basically want your address book.
Right.
And if you're an open networker, you're willing to give up your address book to reach these people. So I do recommend it. And from there, now you're going to have a pretty big audience on Twitter. And you might have a question or a concern saying, well, if I'm already communicating with them on LinkedIn, do I want to also connect with them on Twitter, and do I also want to send them the same information? And my feeling on that, or my opinion, and obviously there's a lot of opinions out there, is you as a marketer want to be wherever these people are. So if you take it to the offline world, if you're going to your BNI networking and then you go over to your Chamber of Commerce network and you start to see the same people, there's no problem with that. If anything, it's you getting out there, shaking more hands, collecting more business cards, seeing more people, educating more people, and more content, more places equals more leads.
Right.
So that's why I'm a big fan of this. Also, exporting these contacts, dropping them into Constant Contact, and then sending out a newsletter once a month is also beneficial.
Okay.
Now, you might raise the question, well, Constant Contact has to be opt-in. These people have to tell me they want my stuff. And so that's debatable. I wouldn't have that debate with Constant Contact because they'll say no. But I translate a LinkedIn connection as a business connection, just as if I was at the Chamber of Commerce and somebody handed me their business card, stuck out their hand, we had a conversation. I would consider that an opt-in.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I agree. My thought was, am I going to bore these people sending them stuff through Twitter and Facebook and LinkedIn and a newsletter, or am I going to be supplying different content to each of those, what did you call them? Not columns. Your different Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn accounts. Do you provide different contact, or you're sending it all out to the same people via different social media and hoping that they'll catch whatever you're saying on one of them?
Yeah, I don't see any problem with sending, so hypothetically say, okay, I'm going to do some of my social media today. So you go to the New York Times and you found a great article on reverse mortgage. The top 5 reasons why people over the age of 62 should at least educate themselves on reverse mortgage. So that's a good article from a good reputable source. So I do recommend sharing that on all of your platforms and summarizing the article and just say, hey, here's a must-read for anybody who's interested in learning more about reverse mortgages, and then sending it out. And then as it goes to Twitter, as it goes to Facebook, as it goes to LinkedIn, I think you said it well. You just hope that they see it in all the other noise that is flying by. And if they're on that platform, at least you're providing that opportunity for them to see it. It's called an impression. So at least you're getting the impressions, and the whole idea with marketing is get the most amount of impressions as you can. And these impressions are free, so you're not paying for them.
Right.
It's just your time.
Okay, so if I am setting up LinkedIn so that it automatically sends information to Twitter, do I need to then send the same information out on Twitter, or it just goes out to anybody who's following me on Twitter? Or are they going to get multiple copies of what I'm sending out?
So that's a good point, and a good thing to cover, because you don't want to end up in a loop, whereas you're sending out via Hootsuite, and then LinkedIn is updating Twitter, and then Twitter's updating LinkedIn, and it's just a vicious loop going back and forth. So the way that LinkedIn is set up is if you're posting via Hootsuite, this button will not be checked. So if you're interacting on LinkedIn, you're always going to see this little Twitter button. If you're on LinkedIn on the actual interface, I recommend also sending it over to Twitter. So if you're updating your status here, or if you're in a group, then also send it over to Twitter. But if you're using a tool like Hootsuite, it won't automatically send over to Twitter. This is called an opt-in.
Okay.
So this button will always be here. But I do recommend, if you're not going to post it over to Twitter, then why not just share it over on that platform while you're doing your work here?
Right. Well, so which is the most efficient way to set this up so that I'm not? The whole reason that I got Hootsuite was so that I could only send out information once, and it would feed to all my social media.
Yes.
Which is the most efficient one to put the information in and feed it out to LinkedIn, my blog, Twitter, everything that I've got?
So here's the setup, which I feel as though is the most efficient, and I call it, 1 hour or 2 hours a week of social media. So you do all your social media in, say, 2 hours a week. You schedule that whenever you have time in your calendar. And the setup, it's all about coming up with, say, 15 to 20 good, relevant articles, a mixture of maybe some of the stuff that you publish, some of the stuff that credible sources publish. Come up with those, include a link to where it lives on the internet. It could be a video, it could be a press release, it could be an article, it could be an infographic. Then use Hootsuite to schedule those to be distributed throughout the month. Within Hootsuite, you can schedule a time, a platform, you can do all of that scheduling. So that's running on autopilot, and you know that you're going to get a good piece of content out to your communities, no matter where they are, Twitter, Facebook, Google+, on a daily basis. So then you kind of set it and forget it. And then once a week, you have to go into your platform and do the LinkedIn networking that we talked about, which is using advanced search, proactively reaching out and finding good quality people, probably accepting invitations, probably doing some networking in your groups, and tagging some people, sharing some additional information, maybe commenting on some other content that's related to reverse mortgage. So I think it can be done in say 2 hours a week.
Okay.
Does that
I'm going to
sound
work on that.
Sound doable?
Yeah.
In an hour's time, you could probably do some, especially with the knowledge that you have now and the way the infrastructure that you already have set up. You come over, you log in, you maybe comment on somebody's post related to reverse mortgage, go over to your inbox, see if there are any invitations, accept some of those, take a look at your profile, see if it's missing anything. If you have any new publications, you want to make sure that you get that information in there. You can go over and take your most popular posts from the past couple weeks, send those out to 50 of your connections, then go over to advanced search and connect with some of your partners, and then you're done after an hour's time frame.
Okay, so since you can only send them out to 50 people at a time, would it be smart then to kind of divide your list of contacts into 50-person groups of people that you can just say, okay, everybody in this group gets this post today, tomorrow, this 50 people is going to get this group. This particular group is going to get what I posted yesterday and they missed.
That's the way that I like to have it set up via your tag. So, you would have your partners, so CPAs, you'd have real estate agents, you'd have
I'm seeing that's a
local network groups, and then so you go to your recent activity, and then you look at your new 150 new connections. You say, okay, this guy's a financial advisor. Let's tag him as a financial advisor. You just have all these little tags, and then when you have like a good article which is related to say the financials, really the numbers related to reverse mortgages, you can send to the CPAs. You say, hey, you can even say, hey, CPA group, I found this really cool article. I thought of you when I was reading it. Here you go. Enjoy. Comment back if you have any thoughts.
Okay, so go through connections and reclassify.
And what I love about LinkedIn is that you know that you're getting into their inbox, and it's not going to bounce. It's not going to be marked as spam. It might be a little annoying to them, but you have a mission. You're trying to help people.
Right. Okay, I'm going to work on that this weekend.
And we're also trying to do things that scale very, very well. So that's why we recommend Hootsuite, doing things at advanced, planning, treating it like a project, trying to reach multiple people, growing the target audience.
Yeah.
Because you can imagine if you had 2,000 people.
I would love that.
A lot more would be coming through.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much it. I think we covered a lot.
Yeah, we really have. I wish I could find my Hootsuite connection because, I had it on my phone too, and I had it all. Yeah, it is C. Gray at Colette A. Gray. I wonder if that password is with a capital M.
Here, you want to try it?
Yeah. I bet it is.
Your payment was canceled. Your credit card is not charged. Continue to your Hootsuite dashboard. Tell you what, where's my wallet?
Yeah.
The only reason why I'm hesitant is I don't know what account this is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's not telling me which account. Where's the login here?
Well, that's what I was thinking was, you know, maybe if you just Googled Hootsuite login. Or just took the billing off that Hootsuite.com in your search bar.
Yeah, I've tried that. Talk about them being aggressive.
Yeah.
So then if I click on login, watch what happens here.
Wow.
Can you log in on your browser and we'll flip over to your screen?
Yeah. Let's see. I don't know.
If I knew that this was my account, then I would.
Okay. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Log in. No, I'm going to try this. Damn. Let me just check one thing here. I recently changed all of my passwords, and now I can't find where I wrote them all down.
You can do reset.
Reset what?
Reset your password. Say like I forgot my.
Yes, I would do that. Help desk. I guess I have to let them know. Oh, that's going to take forever. Okay, and then I have to go here. GoDaddy.